Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. Last Monday in October. Um, and I was going to do this later today, but at 9. But then I realized that 9 o'clock, it just gets too crazy on a Monday morning. So I decided to keep this at 8 o'clock. And what I wanted to talk to you today about, I've had a lot of clients lately asking me about renting their apartments or their condos. They're moving to the suburbs and they own a condo or a home. Perhaps they have a multi-unit and they're anxious about getting their apartment, condo, home rented. And in Cook County, this past year, a new ordinance went into effect called the Just Housing Ordinance. And I wanted to just share that with you. It's kind of changed a little bit how we do tenant screening. So basically what we do with tenant screening is we have a service. Everything is done online because of COVID now. Nobody wants to handle paper. And actually doing it online is easier anyway. So we have a service. The company that we use is called Listing to Leasing with a number 2. Listing number 2 leasing.com. But I think there's several companies that do it, but that's the one that we happen to use. And every applicant over the age of 18 goes in. They have to have a distinct email address. They go in and they fill out an application. It's very thorough. It asks for employment history, their previous where they're living now, their previous landlords. It asks all kinds of, it's a very thorough application process. And the tenant pays for it, the prospective tenant pays for it. It's $40 for each adult over the age of 18 that's going to be living in the property. And then the landlord gets a copy of it. So the credit check is, once the landlord reviews the application, they can then opt to have a credit report pulled. And then if that looks satisfactory, then you do the criminal background check. Because the Just Housing Ordinance requires that you first pass a tenant based on their credit and their financial capabilities before you do the background check. You cannot discriminate against a prospective tenant because he's got some issues in his background. And it doesn't matter if you live in the building or not live in the building. In the past, it used to be in Cook County that if you lived in the building, you basically could rent to whoever you wanted to. You didn't have to worry about any fair housing issues at all. But the reasoning being that you live there and you have to get along with these people. But the Just Housing Ordinance supplants that. So that's not the case anymore. You may want, I was going to share this with you. Here, but that's not what I wanted. Well, anyway, let me go here. Okay, here it is. It's the Just Housing Amendment. It's called. It was just went into effect the end of January, in January of 2020. And are there exceptions? Yes, there are exceptions if the applicant is registered as a sex offender. And there's a child living in the house. That is one exception. But you can advertise, may I say, no sex offenders, or can I no longer say no felons? You cannot advertise it that way. No convicted drug dealers. You are not required to do a criminal background check. But as I said, the background check has to be done after you've cleared the tenant otherwise to be financially capable. Anyway, so I just wanted to make you aware of that. It's gotten more complicated, of course, as everything has. I don't really handle rentals per se, although I obviously do them for clients to provide a service. But it seems like this last couple of weeks, I've had several clients reach out to me asking me about helping them get their places rented. So I've got a little bit more familiar with it. And what can I say? Anyway, so there you go. Quite often the question I get too is, what's the commission? It's 1 month's rent, which is why I don't do them, because it's a lot of work for a little bit of pay. But of course, I always want to provide service to my clients if I can. So the Just Housing Amendment, something you may want to look into if you're thinking about renting. Online application services, definitely a great way to go. Kind of takes you out of the picture and lets the applicant do everything online digitally. So announcements. Later this afternoon, at noon actually, I'm going to be right back here again with my friend, colleague, and past client Terrence Terrell of Monitor Financial. We are doing our monthly market update. That will be at noon today, same place here on Facebook. So if you can join us at noon, I'll be doing a quick 10-15 minute showing you what's going on in the market. And then Terrence is going to talk about the different kinds of mortgages, how down payments are affected, and how interest rates are affected. The interest rate on your mortgage is affected by the amount of down payment you make. You can get a mortgage for as little as 3.5% down, and with first-time homebuyer grants, I've even had clients get into a property with as little as $1,000. So you may want to tune in today at noon. We'll cover the market updates, and then have Terrence talk to us briefly about mortgages and the different kinds of mortgages that are available, as well as down payment requirements. So hope you can join us then. And probably going forward, I will be doing these every Monday at noon rather than at 8 a.m. And occasionally, like today, I will have a guest that I will be interviewing on a particular topic. So I hope you can join me today at noon. I look forward to seeing you then and going forward. Have a good morning, and we'll see you at noon. Bye for now.